she locked the emergency gate of the community pool during a rescue training session with kids inside in 100-degree heat. Who the hell does that? I stood there, bolt cutters in hand, heartbeat racing. My team waited, tense and confused. And Karen? She just smirked from her perch behind the HOA office window, sipping her iced tea like she hadn't just endangered actual lives. I'm the head of our local fire department's volunteer response unit, and our small town has one community pool. We'd gotten permission from the previous HOA board to conduct live rescue drills twice a month. Nothing dramatic, just water extractions, CPR refreshers, and heat stroke simulations. It was good training for us, and it reassured the families who swam there that someone was watching over them. Then Karen got elected. I swear, that woman treated her new title like it came with a crown and scepter. No one voted for her. She slipped into power after the last president moved away, and nobody wanted the role. And suddenly, everything had a new rule. No towels over pool chairs. No sunscreen bottles bigger than 6 ounces. No outside food, which included sliced fruit. But her biggest obsession? Control over the emergency gates. They're eyesores, she said, lips pursed, voice sharp enough to peel paint. If people can come and go through them, what's the point of the front gate? I tried to explain repeatedly that emergency exits weren't just decorative. That in a crisis, seconds matter. That during one drill last month, our team had to carry a 200-pound man on a stretcher out the back gate because the front was crowded with panicked kids and parents. But Karen? She didn't care. If they're real emergencies, she said with a smug smile, then you can call 911. You ever hear silence so heavy it punches you in the chest? That's what it felt like the day she said that. I just blinked at her, trying to keep my cool. I could have snapped. I should have snapped. But I didn't. I took a breath, swallowed my frustration, and told her we'd be back next week for our scheduled drill. She didn't say no. Not outright. But she didn't say yes either. And that brings us to today. It was blistering. July in Georgia kind of heat. The kind that melts plastic toys and fries eggs on car hoods. We arrived early, like always, set up our cones and laid out our rescue dummies. We had a few teenagers from the junior lifeguard program watching, eager to learn. And I remember thinking just for a second, maybe she won't interfere this time. Then someone screamed. Not from pain. From confusion. I jogged over, then froze. The side emergency gate, our exit point, was chained shut. And I don't mean some flimsy padlock. I mean heavy-duty chain, looped through the latch, locked with 2 thick bolts. There was a laminated sign zip-tied to the fence, closed indefinitely. Violators will be fined. Signed, of course, by Karen Jenkins, HOA president. I swear I saw red. I stormed to the HOA office, my boots pounding against the pavement. Karen was in there, sitting pretty with her fake fern and cat print mug. She didn't even flinch when I banged the door. Hi there, she chirped, pretending like this wasn't an act of sabotage. If you need something, submit a request form. I cut her off. You locked the emergency gate. During a drill. Her eyes widened for half a second, then narrowed. It's not an official emergency, is it? So technically, the gate isn't required. Technically, my voice cracked. Karen, there are 30 people out there, and some of them are kids. We simulate real emergencies for a reason. What if someone passes out from the heat? What if we need to get a stretcher in? Or out? She leaned back, all smug confidence. Then go through the front. Like everyone else. That's when I realized something. She didn't care. Not about safety. Not about the community. This was about power. You've been warned, she added, sipping her tea. Any unauthorized use of that gate is subject to citation. I walked out. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just walked back to my truck, opened the side compartment, and pulled out the bolt cutters. Let me be clear, this wasn't an act of defiance. This was damage control, a preventive rescue. Because the second I turned around, I saw one of the teen lifeguards, the youngest, Maddie, stumbling near the shallow end, face flushed, breathing shallow. Heat stroke. I ran. The whole team jumped into motion. We got her under shade, started cooling her body, called in a paramedic. But we still needed to get her out of the enclosed pool deck to meet the ambulance in the parking lot. And the front? Jammed with confused parents. So I turned toward the gate, lifted the cutters, and sliced. The chain clanged against the concrete like justice itself. I pulled the gate open, wide and clean, then radioed for the medics. Within a minute, Maddie was safe and on her way. But of course, Karen came storming out of the office, heels clacking like thunder. "You vandalized community property," she screeched, eyes bugging. "You're finished here. Fired." I almost laughed. Fired? I'm a volunteer. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "You locked a fire safety exit and endangered minors. You'll be hearing from the state fire marshal." And I meant it. Turns out, I didn't have to wait long. One of the parents at the pool that day, she was a legal aid for the county. She'd filmed the whole thing, Karen smirking behind her window while Maddie collapsed. The bolt cutters, the blocked ambulance path, the locked gate with the closed indefinitely sign. All of it. By sunset, the video was viral on our town's Facebook group. Hundreds of shares, dozens of comments. By morning, the fire marshal was at my station. By noon, so was a county investigator. And by 6 p.m., Karen was being escorted off HOA property not by choice. She screamed that it was harassment, that it was defamation, that I was just a hotshot with a god complex. But nobody believed her anymore. Not after the footage. Not after the medics confirmed Maddie was lucky we acted fast. Not after the HOA board, embarrassed beyond belief, voted unanimously to strip Karen of her title and ban her from entering any community building without a supervisor present. The emergency gate? It's been replaced with a quick-release model. Every pool staff member was retrained on emergency response protocol. And yes, our rescue drills? Now mandatory twice a month by county ordinance. As for Karen, last I heard, she was trying to sue the HOA for wrongful termination of a volunteer position. Good luck with that, I guess. Sometimes I drive past that pool, and I still hear the faint clink of those chains hitting the pavement. It reminds me that one person's ego can't stand in the way of public safety. And next time someone thinks locking a gate is harmless, they better be ready for a whole damn team with bolt cutters. And a reason.